efficiency down the line, so that this can not just be channeled through IDCOL, but also the mainstream financial institutions in a bigger way than what is being done now. So, Mr. Millat.
Thank you, Mr. Naguni. Let me start with this, that the Bangladesh Bank, central bank, is so passionate since 2008 onwards to address the sustainability agenda. So if you look at the locust funding arrangements, very recently on July 24, 2022, it's a locust funding arrangement of 4 billion for the 68 green products projects initiatives belong to 11 green categories, where you find that the energy efficiency and the renewable energy, where you can see, and also alternative energy, you'll see that 26% the total green finance are being contributed from this energy, sustainable energy that covers the energy, renewable energy and energy efficiency. If we look at the textile and garments, you will find that there is 200 million US dollar and 200 million euro is the Green Transformation Fund. If you look at the data, you will feel that out of the 200 million US dollar, 160 million US dollar has already been absorbed by only the garments and textile industry. So you feel that how much it is being facilitating these two industries. The point is that there is the information. Yes, there is access to finance is a problem, but I think collateral should not be a problem, because if you look at the data for the last 5 years, you will feel that if you look at the industry average, you will see that 8 to 10% is the NPL status. But once you see the loans and assets that went through environmental due diligence under environmental and social risk management guidelines, we all will be surprised to know that it belongs below 1%. The NPL status is below 1%. And also the green loans projects, those went through the ESDD under ESRN guidelines, you see that it is lie below 0.2%. So once you feel that the environmental and social due diligence is going on, and asset quality, the more the sustainable finance, the more the green finance, the less the possibility for an asset to become deteriorated. So it is the bank's concern that they need to be sustainable as well. So once they will see that under the screening process, the asset quality is a very good quality one, then there will be no questions of collateral. So you just think that is one. And the other point is that there is 1,000 BDT, billion, that is 10 billion BDT. It's in local currency for the energy efficiency and for the environment-friendly machineries are very much there, and it's a less stringent process for the factory, garments, textiles to go with. Yes, US dollar and also the euro, it is very comprehensive, because in a sense it is the question of foreign exchange, and so there is some sort of more stringent process therein. But once the process is on, just for the one time, it's a MIS, then it will be easier for the entrepreneurs and banks both. They will remain comfortable to go for this, because you know that if it is LIBOR plus 1% or like that, it's vulnerable to some extent now. But if you look at the 4 billion schemes, it is only 3%. The refinancing claim by the BFI is only 3%. And for 5-year tenor, it is only 5%. So when you look at the JICA and the other funding agency, with respect to GTF and also 4 billion refined scheme, these are very lucrative and comfortable. But it has to be known, it has to know that these facilities are very much on. And Bangladesh Bank never ever pushes banks hard to go for collateral. It's very much depending on the banker-customer relationship, Mr. Mirali. And he has all sorts of facilities for his factories. Although he was, since he was representing the whole industry, he was telling about the others. But what I would request the entrepreneurs, be like Mr. Mirali and his organizations, so you personalities will remain much more comfortable to contribute to more to green growth. That is the point. Because once we look for the banks and financial institutions to contribute, even if I call for IDCOL, then they need to be sustainable. If they don't remain sustainable, how they could make the project sustainable? So that is the concern. So collateral shouldn't be a problem once the asset quality is very good, and that the process is there. Recently, the ESRM guidelines has been issued on 26th June 2022 by SFB Circular number 3, and there is also a very ample opportunity that the textile and garment industry has a sector-specific guidelines. So once it is in place, so banks and entrepreneurs, if they can go through, I think collateral should not be a problem. So this is fine one. And the other one is that very recently, the policy on green bond financing for banks and financial institutions, just very recently it has been issued. That could be exercised and taken into due considerations, where banks and financial institutions have an ample opportunity to contribute more to some extent to play in the capital market with their issuance and also investing in this process. As many as 87 green scale activities are there. So everything is there, and Bangladesh Bank is so passionate, and everything is in place just to dig out to some extent, and there is the information gap. So that has to be minimized. I think all the concerns will be more comfortable. And above all, A to Z capacity building is required, and collaboration, coordination, and cooperation among all the concerned states. We know that Honorable Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's Office and the Ministry of Power and Habibur Rahman sir is here very much dynamic, and the SHEDA. But one thing I will look for the SHEDA, that SHEDA has to be in such a position to certify the green industry, green building. Probably they are in process and they will come out, and I wish all the very best. Thank you for giving me a very, very special time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Millat. You raised again quite a few very important issues. First of all, there was a very interesting correlation between collateral and asset quality. I believe, you very rightly say that once the asset quality is right, the collateral requirement should automatically be fulfilled. And I'm also very happy to see the recent circular on green bond. I'm personally quite excited because me being involved in the sector for quite some time, we have been hearing this green bond development market for quite some time. And finally, we think there is some interest in the market, and with the right policies now in place, or at least initiated, there will be at least few model green bond in the market which will further support the entrepreneurs for developing their green project.